The Dow hits a record, the trifecta from hell. And how does a swab up your nose sound before your next dinner? I'm Michelle Mortensen, and this is what you need to know this Tuesday, November 24th. Big news today on the New York Stock Exchange. The big board surpassed 30,000, a new all-time high. Despite the dumpster fire of a year 2020 has been, the stock market has been pretty remarkable.
It's true.
Meanwhile, Senator Lindsey Graham says if the Senate goes to the Democrats, we will be governed by the trifecta from hell.
This is what hell is like.
Biden, Schumer, and Pelosi.
Horsemen of the apocalypse?
Graham made the comments encouraging everyone to donate to the Republican Senate candidates in Georgia to secure the Senate for the right.
We gotta win.
And speaking of the trifecta from hell, Schumer has shown this week that he isn't a leader, but a follower of whatever the mob demands.
Mob rule is not a pretty sight.
You see, Senator Dianne Feinstein just resigned her position on the Judicial Committee due to Schumer's urging. Now, why would Schumer do this to the 87-year-old senator from California?
Good question.
Well, she dared to say something nice about Lindsey Graham, and she gave him a hug.
The horror!
The radical progressive left cancel culture mob wasn't having that. You can't be nice to a Republican.
Oh, no way.
They demanded she step down, and weak Chuck Schumer refused to lead and instead told the mob, when you say jump, I say how high.
Look how high I can jump.
Now, let's be clear. None of this is fostering unity. Remember that word, the one Biden used repeatedly after he made his victory speech? Canceling a well-known Democrat because she was nice to a fellow human being who happens to be a Republican isn't unifying. It's disgusting.
Truly, utterly appalling.
And speaking of disgusting displays of division from the radical left, a columnist in Teen Vogue just wrote an article creating even more division in America, targeting kids. The article said America's values are white supremacy and capitalism.
Was that a joke?
The author went on to say there is no such thing as unity in America and that it just can't happen because why would systematically oppressed people want to hold hands with their oppressors?
Did she really say that?
She also said that unity can only be found with programs like universal health care and deprivatized housing.
That's stupid.
Okay, so much to say here. But first, if this is what young people think, who the hell's been teaching them? Because nothing the columnist said was factual, accurate, or true.
Fake.
It was, however, a propaganda piece of lies that is truly just encouraging people to have more hate in their heart for their country and fellow man.
Where's the love?
Division like this is what leads to more hate, more crime, more anger, more of everything that is destroying us right now.
We gotta stop this before it's too late.
Now more than ever, we need community and unity. And you can only get that when you treat people as you want to be treated. Messages of hate, like the one we just talked about in Teen Vogue, must be condemned. Because if you don't condemn, you accept it and you allow it to be preached far and wide. And heck, this was printed in a media publication. No one sees the line between opinion and news anymore. So some are just going to read it and actually think it's 100% true.
It's all fake news.
Fake news.
And speaking of news, CNN screwed the pooch again.
Uh-oh.
This time putting on a nurse who worked in an ICU, claiming she's with people on their deathbed with COVID, and they're saying this can't be happening. It's not real. First, even CNN producers have a problem with this story because this nurse is allegedly sharing the final words of dying patients publicly. CNN even called it inhumane, so those producers did. But even worse, National Review and Newsbusters found her stories weren't even true. They were made up. They evidently interviewed others at the same hospital who said her accounts didn't happen.
Fake news.
So what is the truth? Well, we don't really know. It's a he said, she said about people's dying words. But why are journalists reporting on unverified claims? Well, that's because they tell stories, not facts. They're trying to play on your fears and emotions. So they get stories that confirm the narrative they're pushing.
What?
Don't believe me? I've been in the biz for almost 20 years and I've got the MAs to prove it.
All right, brag much.
This is why you can't take anything at face value. You've got to research everything yourself.
It's called research, Stewie.
Finally, in COVID news, the politicians are losing it. Seriously, we need Matthew McConaughey to run stat.
All right.
Because these governors are shutting down alcohol sales now in Pennsylvania in an effort to stop coronavirus.
Don't think about beer. Don't think about beer. Don't think about beer.
Since when does selling alcohol stop a virus?
It doesn't.
And I know this is about bars, but are you seriously okay with the government telling you where you can go and when?
Of course I'm not okay with it.
And get this, a restaurant in New York is saying if you want to dine there, you have to take a rapid COVID test at the cost of $50 a person.
It's really fun and pricey.
Here's how it's going to work. You actually make your reservation and then you prepay for the tests. You come before your reservation, get a swab up your nose,
One shot straight up my nose.
and a glass of champagne.
Fancy.
If you pass the test, you can eat. If you fail, you gotta go. This is the world we live in now, folks. This is the world we live in. I can't be mad at the owner who's really just trying to keep his business open in very, very, very difficult times. But dang, I really hate that this is who we are now.
It sucks.
And with that, that's what you need to know. I'm Michelle Mortensen.